Okay. I don't know if it's recording.
You're
I think it's recording. We're good. All right. Everybody, welcome tonight to the Happy Oilers team call. I'm happy to have so many of you joining us for learning about the Young Living Compensation Plan and some strategic tips for building your Young Living teams, not just for maximizing your check this month, but for every month thereafter. Part of the wonderful thing that happens on these calls is everybody that comes on here gets to pick topics or is selected to pick topics that they're known to be passionate about, and the compensation plan is one of my favorite things to talk about. I can't hardly teach a Young Living class and talk about the oils without talking about the compensation plan because it gets me excited. We have one of the most unique opportunities with our Young Living business is, as far as network marketing companies go, we have a outstanding product that is, nearly flawless as far as quality. It is top of the line, the gold standard for our industry. And not just for essential oils, but for the supplements that they have and the beauty products that they have available. It really is some of the best that's out there. When you're building a network marketing business, one of the important things to look at is that you not just have a great product, but you want something that's consumable as well. And you guys, I think we're all helpers and we think, well, we don't want it to all be about the money, but we want our customers to be able to come back to us regularly for things that they need. That's what creates a business, a great business model, something that's going to grow. And for most of you, you see that. We have not just a great product, but a great product that keeps people coming back month after month because they learn about how these oils work, they learn about how awesome these supplements are, and they love them, they keep using them, they share them with their friends. And I think that is one of the things that has made growing the Young Living business, I don't want to say easy, because growing a business is never easy, but it's made it more of a joy for me to do, because I could speak from that authentic place about a great product that works. And I find that other people, that the mission of the company and the mission that I'm trying to accomplish resonates with them. And so they hop online with that as well. So that's why I'm excited about the Young Living Compensation Plan, and I'm glad that you guys are here to learn more about it. When we start with this, we are just members. We bought a starter kit, or maybe even just a bottle of oil at some point. And we said, oh, this is kind of cool. And what probably happened, if you're like me, you said, wow, this stuff smells amazing. Stress Away works. Now I know why people are into it. And I'm saying to my friends, you've got to try this. You've got kids. You need Stress Away too. Or sometimes I'm doing this at the mom that's about ready to wrangle her kids. And that's how we start sharing them as a member, right? Or you're saying, oh, your kid's having trouble falling asleep at night. They're so restless. They are bouncing off the walls. So here, try some lavender. Or, oh, you've been working out. Look at you, look great. Oh, you need some deep relief. Here you go. We're sharing our oils, and this is how it's starting out. And we're just members. But before long, we find we're on our Essential Rewards because it's awesome and we like to save money and we like to save other people money. We tell them about Essential Rewards as well. And now we're not just a member, we've enrolled somebody. And at this point, Young Living has defined where you become the distributor with Young Living is at the point where you enroll your first member. So you'll see on here, this is they've rehashed the way the what's it called, the income disclosure statement looks, and then so you'll see how that couples in with this as far as the definitions go. But as you can be a member, if you look there, I'm now referring to the compensation plan flyer. Under creating a foundation, it has your qualifications. Just to be a member, you may have a $50 a month order, or you may have a 100 or PV order. So that could be you're on Essential Rewards, or maybe you just place the order. To get from member to any ranks, starting with star, you have to be a distributor. So you've hit that point where now you've enrolled your first member. That's step 1 for qualifying for the ranks. Step 2 is that now your order is not just going to be a 50 PV order. You're in it. You're loving it. You're committed to this now. You're placing 100 PV order every month, probably just to get the stuff your family needs and the things you're sharing with your friends and family. So that's qualification 2, that you're a distributor and that you're placing 100 PV order. Qualification 3 to become a star is that you also have 500 OGV. That word, the little anagrams or whatever you call them that they come up with for these sometimes blow your mind, but PV stands for your personal volume in this case, and OGV stands for your overall group volume. So that's you and the person you just enrolled, and maybe somebody else you enrolled, and perhaps somebody they've enrolled. However much everybody in your circle has ordered is your organizational group volume, or your OGV. So that's your star rank. Stars are what drive this business. When somebody says, I am just a star, I am saying you are just awesome, because being a star is everything. That's where you get started. That's where you start seeing the big vision. You're starting to share with your friends. Chances are they are starting to share with their friends as well. And without the stars, we would have no Young Living business. There wouldn't be one. You can figure out every rank above this from here on out just by knowing how many people you have to help to get to star. And it's really, I think if you think about it that way and you focus on the people just getting started, that's where you're going to see the biggest growth. Once they start rolling and that snowball starts going for them and they have the vision and they understand how it works, they can take it and run with it. But the stars are really the crux of your business growth. And that's where you want to focus. So stars, if you are just a star, you are just awesome, because that is really where our business is driven. So if you have any questions on PV or OGV, I'm trying to see if this is chats. Okay, there are comments here in the chats. Just Rising Star bonus, you got to mute Roxy. Roxy, we love you. We're going to put you on mute just so that we don't have any distractions in the background. So, so that's our stars. So from here, the next steps are really just variations of the same thing. So to get to senior star, if you guys are at your star level, which many of you on this call are because you are already in this business and you're excited and you hit that rank, to get to that next level of senior star, the qualifications are similar. You got to be a distributor, so you've enrolled somebody. You have to be placing your 100 PV order to qualify for a rank. So those two qualifications, not just here, but they don't change all along. Oh, she says, am I going to show the comp plan while I'm talking? Can you guys not see the comp plan? Tashina sees it. Do you not see it anymore, Julie? I thought you saw it in the beginning. Okay. So I wish I could. I don't think you guys can see my mouse, but if you are, this is it right here. So here's, and I'm going to stick here with just this first page, and then I'll give you a few details from here on out, but this is where most of our focus is going to be. But to get to senior star, those two things never change, and every rank thereafter, it never changes. So you got to be a distributor. You have to place your 100 PV order every month. Of course, at this point, you'd be doing it on Essential Rewards because that's just smart. And then you want to have an organizational group volume of 2,000 OGV to reach senior star. So what does that mean? That means you're placing your order, you have a few people you're helping out, and you probably have 3 other stars on your team by this point. Really, that would be your goal too. And we've talked about, somebody mentioned the Rising Star Team bonus, that they can see that as well. I want to make sure that as we go through this, you see how that fits in, because when we talk about structured building and how to strategically plan your team for not just this month, but every month thereafter, I really feel passionate about the Rising Star Team bonus. I feel like it sets you up now. They compensate you extra for going that path, And then it sets you up also for the future for having a great team. So now you're looking at, if you look down to that lower section where it says Rising Star Team Bonus Pool, there are your 3 stars for that first share. So when you're a senior star and you're working on those with those 3 stars, that's them right there. And you would need 3 people following what you're doing. They're distributors. They're placing 100 PV orders on ER because they're smart like you. And each of them have a team of about 500 organizational group volume, overall group volume, or more. In this case, they don't have to quite be stars yet. They'd be at 300 to reach that first share each or more. So that's what you're working on. You're working on helping at least these 3 people hit star. Some of them are going to be there, and then some of them are going to be working for it. And so this is how it fits together with the structured planning at your different ranks. So your goal after star is senior star. And the steps you're going to be working forward to get there is that first share of the Rising Star bonus. I love how they set it up and make it so easy for you. You don't have to wonder, let's see, I can enroll my friend, but can I put them here? Well, they're teaching you. This is the way to do it. And as you're enrolling your friends, teach them this as well. Some people are like, well, I don't know if they're going to along. It doesn't have to work that way. I usually group like people together. You know, if they're school moms, they're going to go together. If they're all moms from your congregation, you'll probably stick them together. But it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you'll have somebody that you work with that they're family and they go to your congregation. I mean, where do you put them? You just got to make your best call. And in the end, it'll all work out fine. I've only had a few cases where it got sticky, but never where it fell out. Everybody figured it out in the end, and it worked out good. I would always suggest at least explaining it to them so that they also know the benefits of it as well. But it's not always necessary with every member you enroll. I know some people feel like, oh, I got to explain it, but you know what? They'll get it later when they're growing their business. And if they're not growing their business, you're always their go-to person anyways. So it wouldn't really matter. They don't actually call the person that is sponsoring them. The enroller is actually paid extra to do it. So another point that I want to discuss is the next rank of executive. And then I'm going to pause there for a while, because if we can really nail those 3 ranks down, I think you guys are all on your way to having very successful young living businesses. To hit the rank of executive, it's the same thing. You're 100 PV on ER and you're a distributor because you're enrolling members. But the next level up is that you have an organizational group volume, an overall group volume of 4,000 points, or PV, OGV. You're going to have that overall group volume. So what does that mean too? How does it get differentiated? Well, now you're taking a couple of those stars that you started with, because now you've generated a couple more. You don't just have 3. At this point, you have probably 5 or more stars you're working with, but you're helping lift some of those stars up because they want to be leaders. You're helping them to work their way to senior star. Some of them are, let's see, some of them have hit star and beyond. You've got, for executive, you need at least 2 of them to reach 1,000 OGV for each of their individual legs. What are you setting them up for? You're setting them up to be your next senior stars or executives. You're building your teams now. And you've got, at this point, you'll have several amazing legs, but 2 outstanding leaders at least that are really standing out. And so as you look back down to the Rising Star Team Bonus, you'll see as you've evolved through the rank of senior star to executive, at this point you've picked up a few more stars or people working for stars, so that you have 3 people still at 300 OGV or more. 2 more of those people have now graduated to 500 OGV or more, or they've hit that rank of star and secured it. And that'll all kind of happen in this progression. And so we might be in our minds so often in the beginning, we're thinking about rank. How do I get to the next rank? But I'm going to tell you, instead of just thinking how you can get to the next rank, because I don't think it's going to make you more money in the beginning than how to get to the next Rising Star share bonus. That is what I would say to focus on as well. So you might say, awesome, I hit star. Now, instead of saying, how do I get to senior star, say, how do I get that first share of the Rising Star team bonus? I love it, because to me, that sets you up for success. You will hit senior star doing that as well. And so you'll keep moving forward. And then you're going to hit your next rank, and you're going to say, okay, well, now how do I hit my next Rising Star team bonus? So you're going to look at the green where you got the 2 shares, and you're going to aim for that. I want 2 of those people to be stars, and I want to add 2 more people on that are leaders. So at this point, you have 5 leaders. And if you look down for the purple section where you have 2 more of those leaders that have grown up, so to speak, and they're at the 1,000 OGV, which bingo, that's what you needed anyways to hit your rank of executive. So at that point, you would have not just the 3 people you started with, but you'd have added on 2 more at one point and 2 more at another point. And what you end up with is 3 + 4 is 7 secure legs of people building amazing teams. 7, do you know, to hit Royal Crown Diamond, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me scoot this over. Can I scoot this over? Let's see. No, how about I move this box over? To hit Royal Crown Diamond, that is the highest rank way down here. Did it move over to Royal Crown Diamond? Nod your heads. Okay. To hit Royal Crown Diamond, do you see that? You need 6 legs, plus you're going to need some extra OGV to get you there. That's what this PGV is that ends up adding on. So you essentially need 7 legs to get you to Royal Crown Diamond. They set you up not just to hit executive or silver, they set you guys all up to be Royal Crown Diamonds. So that's why I love the Rising Star team bonus, because it gives everybody the opportunity to, right from day one, strategically place their teams and build their structure to everybody to be a Royal Crown Diamond. Who wants to be a Royal Crown Diamond? I do. We all do, I would think. We're not in this just for fun. We want to have a business that's successful. And so that's what it helps set you up for. So I love that about Young Living's compensation plan, how they set you up for the long term. Now, what I didn't mention is that there's extra compensation for the Rising Star Team Bonus Pool. So when it says 1 share, you're actually earning a share of all Young Living's commissionable sales. It's in small writing for me, so I'm going to try to read it. It says 1% of all Young Living's commissionable sales. So what did we have, like $1 billion one year in sales? I mean, this is a lot of money. So they're taking 1% of that, and they're dividing it up into shares for the Young Living people that are just working on the Rising Star Team Bonus. This isn't part of the money that's going to the Royal Crown Diamonds. This has nothing to do with shares of generation leader bonuses, which is like once you hit leadership ranks, you'll start getting those. This is just for you guys that are stars to executive. This is for you to capture. So it ends up coming out to usually about $50 a share. At least that's what it was when I was reaching it. I know several of you guys have gotten this as well. And it'll be $49, $53, but you could count on it around $50 for the first share. So 2 shares obviously would be $100, but you get that on top of the first share. So you've got 1 share, now you've earned the next level, you get 2 more shares. So you're up to 3 shares. So you're up to $150 now. On top of what you're already making for what you're already doing, building your teams and trying to reach your next ranks. And then if you hit that purple level there, which is 3 more shares, now you don't just have 1 share or 2 share or 3 shares, you have 6 shares that you're getting. That's a $300 bonus for being awesome, for doing what you're going to need to do to be successful anyways. I just think it's the coolest thing that they've done for us is set that up and put it out there. And it really is setting you guys up for the success you need. So side notes, because a lot of people wonder about the unilevel commission. And I'm not trying to minimize its importance by mentioning it later, but I think that where you're going to earn the money and keep the motivation is structuring yourself for the long haul. But it does highlight a few things. The unilevel commission is one way that Young Living will pay us out. And another way that you get paid out is with the Fast Start and Starter Kit bonuses. The Fast Start and Starter Kit bonuses, actually, let me see if I can move this down. Let's put this out of the way. It does talk about it a little bit up here, these additional earning opportunities. So I'm gonna bring this up here just so you guys can see it. The Fast Start and Starter Kit bonuses are probably what you're most familiar with when you just get started. You enroll your first member and somebody says, hey, you enroll somebody and you are gonna earn $50. And a lot of times we simplify it like that because that's about what it comes out to. It's about $50. But to break it down, because I know there's some greenies out there that love the numbers. And when I got started, I was like, wait, I need to know exactly how this works. That's the red in me though. I need to know how I can set it up to build for the future. And so the Fast Start bonus is when you sign somebody up with a starter kit and their starter kit costs or is valued at 100 points or 100 PV, you'll earn 25% of the PV of that order back. So that's what you're going to earn on it. So 25% of 100, that's pretty easy to figure out. 25 bucks, right? The starter kit bonus is anytime somebody orders a premium starter kit, that's any of the starter kits that are $150 or more, you're going to earn a starter kit bonus. The starter kit bonus is 25 bucks. So when people say, hey, you enroll your friend, you get $50, now you see where that those numbers come from. It's really the combination of two bonuses together, the starter kit and the Fast Start bonus. But let's say they order a starter kit and they add on a slew of oils for equal to another 100 PV. Then your initial order from them for enrolling your friend is not $50. It's $75. You've got two 100 PVs. That's 25 plus 25, 50, right? 25% of 200 is 50, plus your starter kit bonus of $25. So when I realized that, I thought, why am I stopping at starter kits? Why do I make them wait when they want to buy thieves? And it gives you, and it's not just for the upsell, but you're being incentivized to help them get started fast for a reason. You're there to educate them. They're most excited in those first 3 months, and that's how how long the Fast Start bonus is going to last for. And they know that. They know you've enrolled somebody new. You're going to spend the most time with those people in those first 3 months. They're going to call you the most. You're going to help them get on ER. You're going to help them with their first home party or online party or meetups with their friends, however they end up doing it. The first 3 months is when you're going to be the most invested in time. And so Young Living is compensating you for the time you're spending. So don't shy away from that. It's there for a reason. Help them to get started fast the right way. The other part of the Fast Start bonus, because it's not just about the people you're personally enrolling, but you're helping them, like I said, have their first parties and, their mom meetups, doing online presentations, whatever it is. So you're being compensated as well for enrolling those people. Everybody that your member enrolls, you're going to earn 10% on their order as well. So you could see how this money helps to get compounded. And all you're doing is speaking about the oils and sharing your oils and sharing your passion for health and wellness and living above the wellness line. So I know they have several other earning opportunities, but those two are the ways when you're hitting star that you're getting started right away and you're getting paid out right away. And then the other ones like the ER enrollment bonus, this is a new one that's been added on. You get a $15 bonus when your personally enrolled member enrolls with a premium starter kit and an ER order of 100 PV in that first month. It's another nice little bonus they've given us. And then retail earnings, I don't have a lot of retail customers. I'm telling people if they're going to bother with that, they might as well just get a kit and get the discount, but some people still do it. And so, I get this too, if you're in a vendor situation, this sometimes happens as well. So it gives you the outline for a few other earning opportunities. But this fast start bonus and this starter kit bonus is, I mean, learn it and love it, because that is your bread and butter from now until you guys are well into silver, gold, and platinum. Even as a silver, on my better enrolling months, that is always going to be the bigger part of my check. And I love that. It really helps, keeps me on my toes as well. Let me move it back down to here. So that's one aspect of it. And then here we were back to this compensation unilevel commission. This is where these are the level ones. Sometimes the levels come really naturally for people, especially if they've ever done network marketing before. And other times it's a little bit difficult to understand. But your level one is anybody that you've personally enrolled. So your mother, your sister, your best friend, your brother, these are probably your level ones because you've personally enrolled them. They are, you know, you sat there or worked them through the process, put your number in the enroller, generally also in the sponsor spot. They're right there at the top with you. These are also probably your guys that are going to be your rising star leaders, because your friends, I mean, those are the ones that they hop on board with you in the beginning. They're like, if you're doing it, I'm doing it too, because it sounds great. Those are the people that are hopping on with you. And so these are your level ones. Level twos is anybody that your friends that are on level one have enrolled, or anybody that you have made your level ones a sponsor of. So you see when you enroll people the opportunity to change the enroller and the sponsor number. You're always the enroller when you're enrolling people, but you have the opportunity to put people in different sponsored roles. And that just helps you to consolidate people into various legs. So your level twos is anybody your level ones are sponsoring. Your level threes, I mean, this is probably pretty easy. It's not rocket science to figure out that level threes is anybody that level twos are sponsoring. And level fours is anybody that level threes are sponsoring. And so on and so forth. You get compensated up to level 5 forevermore, all the way over here through Royal Crown Diamond. And you could see that there. There's 5 levels of unilevel commission. So that always holds true. You always have to place a 100 PV order. You always get compensated through level 5. You'll always get your starter kit bonuses. You'll always get your fast start bonuses. Those are always there. And so when we harp on that, or it seems like, oh, she said that a million times, it's because that's really the crux of the compensation plan. But it gets so much better, you guys, and I went through this over and over so that you guys would fully understand how to get through to the executive rank, so you'd understand what it looked like. But I want you to cast your dreams so much bigger than that, because just hitting executive is like eating the cake and leaving the frosting behind. It's not nearly as much fun as when you start hitting the leadership ranks. So I'm not going to go into great detail about these ranks, because now that you understand the requirements of star, senior, star, executive, it doesn't change much from silver, gold, and platinum as far as understanding. You still have your OGV requirements. You still have your legs that you need to do, just like at executive. So like with silver, it's still just the 2 legs. They just have to have a bigger volume to their team. With gold, now you have a 3rd leg that is in that leadership role where they've now got 6,000 OGV. It just expands out from there. But a few key things that merit explaining is 1, PGV, which once you hit that silver rank, you'll always have, like that 7th leg that was made, with the Rising Star bonus, like that 7th leg. It's, yeah, don't stay on the executive beach. It's no place to live. Thank you, Tashina. That was beautifully put. That is not a place to live. So the PGV, you can always consider that like your one of your legs. You need to always have at least 1,000 volume of at least 1,000 in there as well to hit any of these leadership ranks. So that's how I always looked at it. So when you hit silver, it says you need 2 legs, but I like to think you need 3. You need your PGV plus your 2 leaders that are there. And so on and so forth. You guys can look at that and figure it out. Unilevel commission stays the same. But there is this little blurb at the bottom that changes, and it not just changes a little bit, it changes everything, you guys. When you go from executive to silver, that little blurb at the bottom is what nearly doubles your check. It's really awesome. And when you have a month where you go on vacation and you're not able to have the host the parties that you wanted to have, or you're in Ecuador and climbing mountains and doing knee greater work, Carrie, and you can't spend as much time having your parties, that is what's going to carry you guys through. And that, when people say, if you understood network marketing and the whole vision of it, you would walk through walls, that's it right there. Generation leadership bonus. And it sounds like, well, it's not much. It's another shares thing, but it really is what makes a difference. And I wish I could explain it as gloriously as Shannon Hudson does. One day I'm going to become the embodiment of her words because she does it so wonderfully. But this is what, when you look at the compensation plan and you say a Young Living Silver makes an average of, I don't know, $2,000 a month, this is where a chunk of their commissions coming from. They're getting a silver bonus for themselves. As you can see it there, they're getting a bonus for any of the silvers on their team. When they hit gold, they get a gold bonus for themselves, plus the bonuses for any golds and silvers on their team. In fact, if they end up with a platinum or a diamond or a Royal Crown diamond on their team, they're going to get paid bonuses on those as well, up to whatever rank that they've hit. So if they're gold, they get a gold bonus for anybody at gold rank or above them. So I love that. And those bonuses end up being, oh goodness, $150 or so a piece. So it adds up pretty good over time. Plus, but wait, there's more. If you look at the generation commission percentages, you also get an extra commission on your team. So when I said Unilevel stops at level 5, but the generation commission percentages is on everybody. So if you've got your team 25 people deep, you're going to be able to collect a percentage on it all the way down, which I think is huge. And that's where you see the doubling of your check between the generation leadership bonus and the generation commission percentages. So that's just one of the things I want to explain. I don't want to, you guys can really figure this out, what it would take to get to these various ranks. This is the one you guys all want right here. This purple one at the end, Royal Crown Diamond. But let me, while I'm here, I'm going to pull up the, I had it here just a second ago, the income disclosure statement. Sorry, I closed it. So that you guys will get a real great, oops, it would help if I wrote Young Living in there. Young Living income disclosure statement. And here we go. Not sure if you guys can see yet, so I will pull it up here and make sure you guys got a full view of it. Oh, it wants me to log in. Of course it would want me to log in. Let me see if I can pull it up this way. You guys saw all my unspent ER points. That's embarrassing. Let's try this one where it comes right to a PDF. See if it'll open that one for me. There we go. This was the old one. The new one is prettier, but this will give you an idea on some of the numbers. Let me expand this out so you guys can see it. And I love looking at this. If you guys ever need motivation, like, oh, is this worth doing? Is, you know, am I going to really make a success of this? You guys can do this. There are people with less skills than you that have gotten past, that have gotten to silver, gold, platinum, diamond ranks. You guys can do this. I've met some people and I've talked to them and they've told me their story, and they you know, if you're worrying about education or your ability to speak in public, I've met some of the shyest, quietest people, and I'm thinking, how did you do this? How did you even get the nerve up to talk? But they did it. And it's just where there's a will, there's a way. But this will give you guys a little bit of the incentive. And I love when I listen to other diamonds and Royal Crown diamonds explain these rings. My favorite line is from Shannon Hudson when she says, you know, as a star, your average check is $77. Not so bad. It covers a $50 ER order. That's pretty good. Your average check as a senior star is $240. That would cover your ER order if you're like me mostly, because most of mine are, at least I like all those bonuses, but sometimes it would cover your ER order and have a little extra. But by the time you hit executive, and we have several of you guys on this call, you're getting your executive check, which is covering your ER order plus extra. It's covering your car payment perhaps by this point. But to hit silver, where your average check is $2,200, you could see how now the compensation at least doubles for the average silver. And in the beginning, when you first flip from executive to silver, you'll see it just a little less than double, and then as it grows, easily surpass what you were making at executive. What would you do if you had a $2,200 check coming in every month? If you're working part-time, could you quit your job? If you are a stay-at-home mom, would that really loosen things up in the budget for your family? $500. When I got my first $500 check, I was like, our money troubles are over. This is wonderful. I mean, $500 makes such a difference for a family. I could buy all organic groceries. Yay! I was excited. But yeah, right? I see people clapping. It's exciting. I was so thrilled, but then I saw what it could become. And then what would happen if you guys made $6,000 a month as a Young Living Gold? What would you do? Would you need to, if you're working full-time, could you quit your full-time job? That's not too shabby. If you're living in Ecuador, would you need to have to travel back and forth? I keep calling Carrie out because I see her expressions so clearly on this call, whenever she makes the expressions. What would you guys do with $6,000 a month? What would you do when you hit platinum with $15,000 a month? That would be a nice payday. By platinum, most people with a blue-collar job and any regular management position would be able to quit their job. If you're in a high-paying executive position, or I have a friend that's an attorney, that was her goal. She had to hit diamond to be able to quit her job. So nearly everybody, by the time they are graduating through these different ranks, by the time they hit diamond, they're ready to be done with whatever job they had. I think about how awesome that would be. Yeah. Think about how awesome that would be to tell your boss, goodbye, or for your husband to be able to walk out of his job and never have to go back to something they hate doing again. It would be great. But guess what? It's another month. You're a Crown Diamond, and here comes your check for $74,000. $74,000. That's just this month. What are you going to do if I hand you a check for $74,000? What are you going to do? Are you going to pay off all your debt? Are you going to buy a car and get rid of the beater? I mean, are you going to pay off your home? Maybe help somebody in need? What are you going to do? That's a lot of money, right? Perhaps you're going to, I don't know, take a huge vacation. What is it that you want to do? $74,000, and you're going to spend it, and you're going to write those checks, and you're going to help whoever is in need. But March 17th, you're going to get another check for $74,000 on payday. It's going to be dropped right into your account. Direct deposited. It's there. What are you going to do? You got it all over. You got to decide what to do to get. How amazing is that? When I think about these bigger goals, that is the vision that I keep putting in my head. It would be so nice to just say, it's there. I know it's covered. I don't have to worry about these little things, and I could just stick to the things I'm truly passionate about and focus on the things that I truly love. And so I've always loved when Shannon Hudson, who she tells this story every time, and she's one of these high, what does she call herself? Above average diamonds, part of the $1 Million Earners Club. It's really exciting to hear when they talk about the things they've done. And you got to meet them. They all have different goals and opportunities. Shannon Hudson, who we talk about her a lot because she's the diamond right here that hosts many events. She still lives in Flint, Michigan. She never moved out of Flint. She still lives in a house that I believe they rent, and she loves it. She's like, I don't want to change my house. I don't want to change how I live. I would rather spend the money traveling with my family. I would rather spend the money she's had a lot of health issues, picking the best healthcare possible. This is how she chooses to spend the money. And she does a lot of philanthropy too. So what would you guys do? What are you going to do now? You have the information. You know exactly what you need to reach the next rank with Young Living or the next Rising Star Leadership bonus. Is it worth it? Do you see how you could it would be worth walking through walls to get that money? It's worth your time and effort. I have about 15 minutes left. I am going to stop the screen sharing. Although if you have a question about specifically, I'll pull it back up. If I hit stop share, well, that should work, right? Stop share. Okay. And then there's my big old head again. You guys are welcome to unmute yourself. I think that for the sake of anybody else calling in later, that they're going to have questions that I'm not going to remember or think of that I had when I was first getting started. I would love your questions on it. I know a lot of you guys are, I don't want to say veterans in this, but a lot of you guys are veterans. You've been doing this longer than at least 6 months. So some of these compensation plan features you'll already understand, but perhaps you don't. Whatever rank you're at, there's going to be a few challenges to reaching the next rank. So I'd love to hear about what you're foreseeing in those. Feel free to unmute yourself. Kate took herself off mute. Kate, do you have a question?
So how do you have this conversation with somebody? Like, I mean, it's not like, for me, even having the conversation about the kit and maybe ER is difficult. How do you have the conversation about the compensation plan, about doing the business? How do you even go there with somebody?
Okay, first I have to kind of mentally put myself in your shoes, because to me, I can lead with the conversation about the compensation plan because I love it. I think it's a great opportunity for somebody. If they're looking for not even looking for a job, they just want to have some wiggle room in their budget, it's a great opportunity for them. So if they ask a single question, Kate, maybe this is a way for you to look at it. If they ask you a single question about, so how much do you make doing this? Or do you make any money doing this? Or how much could I make doing this? That's your lead in. You don't need permission after that to say anything, to hold back at all. At that moment, I would just explain. I tell them right up front, I make $50 on every premium starter kit that people make, and I host these parties without cost to you because I know that it'll help you earn the money back for your starter kit, and I feel really passionate about it, and it compensates me well to do it for you. And I mean that's a way to start it with a lot of people. Maybe people aren't asking that question, but I have a hard time believing that people are curious to know. Sometimes it takes like dropping little crumbs for them to pick up, if they ask. But a lot of times people ask that. Go ahead.
And I think I've always been nervous to have that conversation because I'm afraid for people to ask me if I'm making any money on this, because I'm not really. I mean, I have enough coming in to pay for my 100 PV order.
Yeah.
Usually. But I'm not like making real money. So I'm always a little bit nervous to go there because I don't have the experience to say, oh yeah, I make this much.
You're way underselling yourself. You're doing, I mean, did you see what the average star makes? Is about $77 a month. That means you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're already a step ahead of whoever you're talking to right at that moment. So if they say, do you make any money doing this? Well, yeah, I get almost all my products paid for every month. I would sell that point. That's huge. A lot of times they're saying, oh, this starter kit's too expensive. Well, let me help you get it paid for. Anytime, if you're looking for openings of how you bring it up, anytime somebody mentions a money issue, oh, I can't afford that one right now. I really want extra thieves, but I'm going to have to wait. I can help you get it covered. Let's have some girls over. We'll do some wine, cheese, and oils. We'll have a great time. I'll help you get it covered. They'll order stuff and you'll earn commission. Nobody is that far in the dark that they don't know that you're making money when you're hosting these events. So I would go with that. And I think you should sell that point. If you're only making $77 a month, you're making $77 a month more than they are doing this. That means you're successful. That means you're an influencer. You're doing the thing.
I have to say that was one of my biggest fears, that somebody was going to ask me, are you making any money yet? And so once I started the business, I kicked my own butt so that I would get to at least $1,000 so that I could say, I make $1,000 a month doing this. Yes, because I was so in fear that they would say, but Leah has a good point as far as saying, I get my products paid for every month, and for every kit I sell, I get $50. I mean, you don't have to tell them that, you know, you make 100 or 200, but you can just say it in that way. And if you do it with passion and happiness, you know, it's contagious. They don't have to know that you're only making, not only, I don't want to say it like that. If you're making enough to pay for your product, you're doing well. But I remember that fear so much that somebody would ask me that, and I did not know how to answer it. And so I just went forth until I got, because you know, $500, that's a good amount of money to make a month. People respect that. And a mom that doesn't make money or have money coming in or could use that extra $500, that's a lot of money to her. So you could, you know, if you get to that point, then well, you know, yes, I make $500. It helps me pay my car payment. But I felt that $1,000 a month was the key thing for me. And so I just busted my butt until I got there so that I wouldn't have to try to make it sound better maybe than it was or something, you know. But
and really quickly, I'll just add to that. It's additional money. That's the beauty of it. It's addition. So we all know that most of the people who are on this call probably do work secularly as well. So just remember that anything that you're making from Young Living, whether it's, even if it was $5, it's $5 you didn't have before, and now it's additional money. You know how much a person's life can be tremendously changed with a couple extra $100 a month? Like, those are the vacations that people never get to take. Like, I wish I had a little extra money to take a vacation. That's a couple $100 a month, right? That car that they wanted, yeah, that could pay for the car. I think Leah mentioned something like that. So just remember that it's additional money. You don't have to validate that you're living off of this money. No, it's paying for my oils. It's allowing me to do A, B, and C. It's additional money. So just keep that in mind. Really quickly, I don't want to derail it, but for those who are going to be listening on the replay, Lee, I did have another question that I wanted to put out there for you.
Yeah, throw it out there. I'd love it.
Okay, so the question is, it's a two-parter. For a person who is newly getting started, how long did it take you to reach silver, and what did that look like for you in the process of doing it?
Okay, the first question's easy to answer. It took me 1 year from when I got started to hit silver. The second question, I just want to clarify that I understand. Are you asking how I went through the ranks to get there, or are you asking what it took time-wise to get me there?
So I guess more specifically, what action steps?
Okay.
More specifically.
All right, so when I first got started, it was Gosh, but I think May, Mom, is when you sent me the kit, right? So she sent me the kit. So I didn't exactly enroll myself. She enrolled me, sent me a kit for our anniversary in early June. And I wasn't going to say no. I thought the diffuser was pretty darn cool. And I remember I took a picture of it and sent it to her. I might have even posted it on Facebook, like, thanks, Mom. And somebody saw that. And so, you know, little conversation started, but then I was still pretty skeptical because I'm like, I still was at that point, like, I don't know that I would actually pay to reorder these oils. But then I was visiting her a little bit later and she showed me the light. I saw the light. Oh, the angels were singing. Well, she showed me how to use lavender with Madeline, which was everything. And it's still like Madeline's spirit oil, if there's such a thing. It is. You know, if she doesn't know what to use, she grabs lavender. And that's when I got myself a reference book and got myself, then I was totally all in at that moment. I was like, what else can these things do? And I think that, and the reason I bring this up, Anthony, is it takes that moment where you're saying, this is it. I found something really great here and I have to tell other people about it. And that was my moment. So it took me till, that was probably late July, early August. So, and it was in August that I remember I was visiting my mom again and I was like, I need more lavender. And she had taken me to a Young Living event. So I went to buy it and then I got mad at her because after I bought it, I found out, I'm calling her out. She's like, what? I found out about Essential Rewards. I was like, you mean I could have saved money on this? How could you not have told me? You know I love to save money. Sales are everything. So I think I even somehow went back to the counter and they showed me how to get on Essential Rewards because she didn't even know how to enroll me. She was still pretty new at this point, or how to get me on Essential Rewards. So, you know, this was, and I think that was either the end of July or early August. And then she came up in August and was like, okay, you're excited. Let's get some of your girlfriends over and have a thing at your house. And so that's what I did. And from that, I had a few friends enroll. Somebody saw that post that I initially put on Facebook about, hey, look at what my mom bought me. And I might have posted something else later about, man, lavender's so awesome. And I had a friend enroll from that. And I was getting excited. I could see where it was like all these little bits and pieces were adding up. And I think I'd asked my sister-in-law, what does it take to hit your different ranks in this company? Because I am very motivated by that. I love having these little short objectives to reach, and I really get excited about setting goals and reaching them like that. So I asked her about that, and I knew what it took to hit star, and I knew I could do it that month. I knew I was close, so I sent an email out to everybody in my email list and told them, and it wasn't salesy, just, you know, that I had a great experience with lavender. I was really excited about the product. It was not compliant. So some of you have seen this, but I don't share it too much. But it was, you know, that if you ever are looking for natural health products or essential oils, I'm your oil girl. You can look to me. And I didn't expect to get, you know, people jumping on board, but I wanted to make sure that if they ever were looking for oils, that it was going to be me that they were calling, nobody else. And so I did have somebody call though, and she, you know, gave me a story about how she wanted to try the oils with her kids. And so before the month was over, I had 4 friends that enrolled, plus my order, plus a few extras. And I was, you know, it hit star and I was super excited. And I say all that because I think those little excitements in the beginning make all the difference to get the snowball going. The next month I thought, oh, if I hit star that first month, I can hit senior star this month. I was very optimistic. It's not that it couldn't happen either. I was dead set on making it happen. The best thing about that month was the 17th rolled around. That's when you get your paychecks, right? Or it might have been the 20th because I was actually getting a check in the mail. And I was expecting a $200 check for enrolling my 4 friends. And the reason I bring that up earlier about how it's more than just $50 for everybody that you enroll, because My mom, I love you, Mom, don't get mad, but she still asks me questions about the compensation plan. And so she didn't quite get it. And even my sister-in-law, who was just getting started in this, couldn't answer the question for me. All they could say was, it's $50 every time you enroll somebody. My first check was over $300, and I was so ecstatic. It was everything. So super motivated after that. And it was at that moment, I had the 4 friends that had first ordered the kit, was like, I don't know enough about this. What can we do? So they had talked me into having a party at my house, and I had enrolled a few more friends during that month. And it just started moving from there. I didn't hit Senior Star that month, though. I was bummed, but I hit it the month after. And from that moment on, Anthony, I think I did 4 to 6 parties every month, which is pretty low end, but I'm a homeschooling mom. I still had to take care of the kids. And so it was, 4 to 6 parties a month. And yes, it was a lot of posting and sharing about these things on Facebook and Instagram, which I did do. And a lot of follow-up. I made it a point to when people, a lot of my meetings were one-on-ones because it was play dates. When we'd have play dates, I was sharing it with friends and families too. But it still was about 4 to 6 times a month that it was either a play date or a party or something. And I made a point to put it in my calendar. In fact, I cleared space on my calendar for when I was going to make these things happen, even when I didn't have something there yet. So it was like, these were the Saturdays I was going to do it. These were the Fridays that were free to do it. And this was, I had Wednesday night this week and I had a Wednesday night this week. So it was open, and my goal was to fill it because I knew from network marketing experience before that it's all about the numbers. And if I plug it in there, that it's going to happen. It took me pretty consistently doing that to hit executive. I think it was, would it have been February? I think it was February because when I hit silver, it was August, and it was like my last month to do it to hit silver on 6. So I was really psyched about it, but it was a consistent effort, Anthony, of putting in the time every month, 4 to 6 at least, gatherings with people. And I know it's partly my personality, but I always saw it as an invitation to talk about money if they said they didn't have enough, or if they ever asked me about what I was making. And my first check was good, but I didn't, it wasn't like I made $500 right off the bat. It wasn't enough money I could live on or anything, but it paid for my order every month. And I think that if you're getting even part of your products paid for, that's something to brag about. I hope I successfully answered your question, Anthony. I think that the most exciting stages, and yet the most difficult ones, are those right in the beginning.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Leah.
Yeah, thank you. You guys really, Tashina came on board right around that time, I think in February, right around when I hit executive.
Yep.
Was that right?
I had my first home party and went star at my first home party on February 28th.
It was, yeah. So that was in February. So that helped me to reach executive. And I think you enrolled though at the end of December, sometime around December, right?
January 29th.
Oh, see how fast she did it? She was motivated. And the person that enrolled her didn't stick with it, but she did. And she enrolled several people. And one of the people I remember that she had to thoroughly convince was her sister, Dana. And I remember Dana's face at that party. I don't think she'd even talk to me because she was like, what are you trying to sell me? Dana's not answering. What's Tashina?
Dana actually was bought her kit. She was another person that was going to be stubborn and would never have done it because she was all into health and wellness and knew everything about it already. So why would she already knew oils? That's
right. But it was fun. So that's when they came on board. It was fun watching it all evolve. One person, you guys know, Amy Zath, she was one of the people that came to that first party with me. And you know how you'll always hear people say, well, there's that person that you could say, you have to buy this. She was that person. You have to buy this and do this with me. And so I just kind of dragged her along with me on that journey too. So I had my mom on one hand and my friend Amy on the other, and we were just going to make it happen. Any other questions? I think it helps having running partners, if that's kind of my point in saying that. It's 9:34. It's been like exactly an hour since this recording started. Did you have, I know you, Dina and Anthony and Tashina, you guys are really good about the events and what's coming up. Did you have anything on the list that we need to throw out? I know Shannon's got an event coming up.
Yeah, Tuesday I have the same class that I just did this past Thursday in English, the vitamins class, foundational supplements. I have that in Spanish. So for any of the Spanish speakers that live in the US and need to know about supplements. And then yes, Shannon Hudson is going to have Lindsay Elmore and Doug Corrigan and just all these amazing people that are convention level speakers that we get to see so that we can see some other people at conventions. So and then you guys all know that her next event is November 1st and 2nd. So if anyone wants to come here for that, Dr. Book is going to be here. Corporate will be supporting, and there's probably going to be some other convention level speakers there as well. And then we did create a Google Doc if anybody wants to put their classes and stuff on there, because we do have a few upcoming classes. We're doing a Tuesday night in March, the first Tuesday, perfume class. So anybody that wants to make the perfumes from Melissa Pepping. And then on the 15th, we have a emotions class. So kind of like the one, if you can't get up to Shannon's, this is going to be in the Dearborn area. And then from there, you know, we'll do our normal stuff like the spa party and all that stuff afterwards.
Good. And for you guys that aren't local, I mean, Marlene had a really great class online about self-care that she ran with Amber in her group. And it was, they'll sometimes do classes and I'll pop in, but that one had some really great tips. So even if you're only, you know, checking it out once in a while, it gives you alternative events to plug people in online for, and they really are very good. And so I would say look into that. And I know that we harp on this every week, but like Tashina said, convention level speakers, if you can't get to convention, which I highly encourage you to do, find local events where some of these people are brought in. I mean, I know we've had people have to drive 10 plus hours to get to an event that's semi-local to them, but it's worth it. You know, you'll find that it's not just motivating, but the education that you get is more than what you're ever going to be paying for these events. So thank you all for coming on. Go ahead.
If you can't afford to get to convention, if you cannot absolutely afford, you can still buy it. If you can get a convention ticket, and then they have all those, a lot of it streamed. So you can stay at home and get a good portion of it. I don't know exactly what they showed or what they streamed, but it's much better than nothing at all. And I know there were several great speakers that people heard, I know. So, you know, you could always do it that way, Carrie. I'm not sure if that'll stream to Ecuador or not. I don't know how that works. But you could always ask. You could always call customer service maybe and check into that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a great point, that for the live stream events for them.
Yeah. Carrie and I both some live stream last year. It worked really well.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited too, Jen, for the concert. That is... I told my husband, and I did not buy him a ticket this year, and he's like, "Are you going to get me a ticket now?" I know.
I got one.
You're going to give yours.
No, Larry's.
Larry's. So, all right, I'm going to stop the recording now. I thank you, anybody that's listening in on the replay. Feel free to message me through Facebook or at my email address, leah_Jervis@yahoo.com, or however you can contact me if you have any other questions about the compensation plan or the income disclosure statement or how to strategically plan your team to reach your next rank. But in the meantime, good night and goodbye.
Wait. Carrie says she has a group tapping tomorrow. I didn't get a time there, Carrie. Sorry.
Yes. Is that still at 7? 7 o'clock on Monday
7
night.
Eastern, because Kate's at 6 Central.
Super helpful too. They're very helpful tapping sessions. I've really enjoyed them, and they've helped open me up a lot lately. And not just that, after that, it wasn't just, okay, sorry about this one more story, but we talked about sharing your story and how important it was to do that. And I've been trying to do better with it, but it's also helped me relax at home with the story that's going on here. You know, it's like, it's just life. You take it one day at a time. So, okay, I'm going to stop
But
recording. You
grab your-
guys feel free to keep talking.
Tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Okay.
Tomorrow